Everybody knew that this new student had even more J's than Johnny in her name. But what came next was unexpected. Another new student came along, and this one's name was Jeremiah Jackson, Johnson, Jeb, Jermaine, Jarrell, Jerome. And that was only just his first name. His middle one was Jimmy, Jackie, Joe, and his last name was Jefferson, Jawalski, Jenkins, Jasper, Jarvis, Justin, Joyner, Jones. Well, John, James, Jankelheimer Jr., and Janie, Joni, Jenny, Jamie, James, and all the other kids in that kindergarten class became experts at the sound of letter J. Thank you. Thank you.
What was the new kid's full name?
Jeremiah, wait a minute. I don't know. I have to sing it.
I still sing the alphabet.
Jeremiah Jenkins, Jasper, Jarvis, Justin, Joyner, Jones. And that was only just his first name. His middle one was Jimmy, Jackie, Joe. Only in Texas would Jimmy, Jackie, Joe be the middle name.
I welcome Greg Whitfield back.
Noonie, I'm going to do one for you. This is off of that Lakewood CD, and this is a song that I wrote for my son, Nick. He's 30 years old now, and I wrote it when he was kind of a toddler, and I was really loving the, his Mr. Mom, I was around him all the time, and I was worried that, that was going to change over time, and of course it does, like I didn't hear from him today. I sent him a text from the ballpark in Arlington and didn't hear back. But, and so there's certain things like that you sort of have to let go, But I was really worried about the hugs and the tenderness part of it going away, but that hasn't happened in 30 years, so I'm real happy about that. Anyway, this is called Daddy Loves You. Seems like only days when half asleep I'd hear you come awake and cry, and stumbling to your room I'd find the table light, and you might need a change or just the company, and I would be there singing Daddy loves you. And now I see you grow with every passing day. I can see it in your eyes and in the things you say, and the way I feel with pride with every victory makes me want to shout, your daddy loves you. And I hold these times so dear. You return my hugs and kisses, never thinking maybe this is something boys don't do. For the time will come, I fear, when shaking hands replaces tender father-son embraces, 'cause that's what grown men do. But Daddy loves you. Though each act of independence carries you away, I guess nature wouldn't have it any other way. For a father's greatest gift is in the letting go, while he softly cries, your daddy loves you. And I hold these times so dear. In your unrestrained affection, I can see my own reflection in your smiling eyes. For the time will come, I fear, when shaking hands replaces loving father-son embraces, 'cause that's what grown men do. But Daddy loves you. Though each act of independence carries you away, I guess nature wouldn't have it any other way. For a father's greatest gift is in the letting go, while he softly cries, your daddy loves you. All right. Also off of that Lakewood CD. Notice a trend here. That was sort of an unplanned CD, but there were a batch of songs that I had not recorded ever, and I didn't even have living room, coffee table recordings of them. And I played at this little place called Lakewood Bar and Grill in Dallas. The sound engineer at that club was an old friend of mine from childhood. Really good sound engineer, and he said, well, let's record these shows, why not? And so I did a bunch of these songs that I hadn't ever recorded before, and we actually ended up with usable takes of them. So, this is that last one was on there, and this one's on there too. This is one I wrote for my dad for Father's Day a few years back. I was raised by good example. I was shown instead of told how a life well lived can change the world in ways we never know. How we handle one another is the measure of our worth, and it just may be the reason we were put here on this earth. I'll settle for a life well lived. I'll settle for a job well done. I'll settle for the things my family needs and some time for a little fun. I'd rather have 1,000 friends than dollars when at last my race is run. I'll settle for a life well lived. I'll settle for a job well done. For a child who grows up knowing that his father is a man who improves the lives of others in every way he can, well, there is no greater lesson, no gift that can compare, than to see firsthand a life well lived and the fruit that it can bear. I'll settle for a life well lived. I'll settle for a job well done. I'll settle for the things my family needs and some time for a little fun. I'd rather have 1,000 friends than dollars when at last my race is run. I'll settle for a life well lived. I'll settle for a job well done. I'll settle for a life well lived. I'll settle for a job well done. I'll try to be a father with an open heart who loves his son. That's how I hope I am remembered when at last my race is run, is one who chose a life well lived and a job well done. Thank you very much. I have to do a song for my sweet wife, Robin. A lot of these are for Robin, but this one in particular is for Claire, too. Like springtime, when all is new, when frost turns to morning dew, the dawn paints the heavens blue, and you smile at me like sun on the window pane, as soft as the summer rain. The birds sing their sweet refrain when you smile. Nature in all of its wonder cannot compare with your smile, and this enchantment I'm I hope I stay here a while. The stars light the evening sky, the moon glows, the angels sigh, the world sings a lullaby when you smile. Nature in all of its wonder cannot compare with your smile, and this enchantment I'm I plan to stay here a while. Winter becomes the spring, church bells begin to ring, and I hear the angels sing when you smile. Same key. Full moon rises and paints the sea silver blue. He begins to hum Caribbean tune. He looks into her eyes and says it all with just one sigh. It's so hard to say goodbye to this paradise and the island life. She would trade it all for a single reason why. He asked her once again to come along with him and leave her home behind. But she knows too well that paradise is hard to find. Seaplane rises and fades away into the sun. She begins to walk along the beach alone. And now this tiny island no longer feels like home at all. And the tears begin to fall. This island life is no longer paradise. She had it all, but she threw it all aside. How could she have failed to see home is where the heart can beat as one with another? Yeah, paradise, it's hard to find. Breeze dances and brings an unexpected chill. Heart grows colder still. There are no second chances. She gave up hoping long ago. But tonight it feels as though he's by her side. Must be the silver light of the quarter moon playing tricks upon her eyes. A long ago forgotten tune breaks the silence in the room, and there in the doorway he walks into the light. He hold each other tight, and once again it's paradise. I played that for you in the parking lot of Grandy's in Round Rock one time. Randy used to sell women's clothing. You know, he's like a traveling sales guy, and years and years ago, he came through Round Rock. And he called me, and so I met him up there at Grandy's. And I think I brought Nick with me, and Nick and Reno kind of played around in the bushes and stuff like.
10, Reno was 5.
Yeah, something like that. And so I said, hey, I got this new song. It's kind of. You know, a lot of major seventh chords in it. Check this out. And you've always liked that one better than.
I always liked that song. I guess that song made me write a song called "In the Western Sky."
Oh, good. I love that how songs breed other songs.
You already had song sex.
We kind of did. Turns out it wasn't safe song sex.
And Gray didn't feel a thing.
There's a song I didn't even know I had.
But they love you in kindergarten.
Red. Is it the lights? You're kind of red. Is it the lights?
Am I red? Yeah. Yeah, it's the lights. See?
Barbara, it's your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Monday traffic, standard part of coming home. He's in no hurry, not much waiting. So why should he hurry at all? Downtime looming, things won't get done. He's unmotivated. What's the difference? Who would notice? He feels empty. Each day is just like the last. And every day is Monday. Saturday just never seems to find him. Friends don't see it, much less family. Only strangers notice when he's drinking alone. There goes someone with nothing to go home to. Poor bastard's lonely, but check out that car he's driving. Nice ride. He feels empty. Each day is just like the last. And every day is Monday. Saturday just never seems to find him. Monday traffic, in no hurry, not much waiting. Downtime looming, things won't get done. What's the difference? Who would notice? So yeah, that was kind of dark, wasn't it? I had this really long marriage that sort of went down the toilet, and I was plunging like crazy, but it didn't help. And well, yeah, she wanted different stuff. My gain, actually, not only did I get a bunch of sad songs out of that time period, which is always a bonus. Ask Fogelberg. Yeah. But I ended up, where I needed to be. I like this song. I like it now. It's a whole lot more fun to play now that it doesn't hurt. And this was sort of the last one. I wrote a bunch of them. Curve in the Road that I started the night with was a Holly song, and there's a handful of those. But this was sort of the last one, and it felt good after I wrote this. I thought, that's it. I'm done. I'm done writing about her, and so I'll play this one for you. And we don't play any more Holly songs. miss my front porch, I miss my backyard, I miss my oak tree, I miss my old heart. I miss the soft light spilling down the hall, but most of all, I miss you loving me. I miss the fireplace on a winter's night. I miss the feeling that all the world is right. I miss the future and all that it might be, but most of all, I miss you loving me. It's a lot that you have asked of me, to say goodbye to everything. They say the heart knows what it needs. I know that's true of mine. I miss the promise of growing old with you. I miss the thousand things that we will never do. I miss the happy man that I used to be, but most of all, I miss you loving me. It's a lot that you have asked of me, to say goodbye to everything. They say the heart knows what it needs. I know that's true of mine. I miss the pictures hanging on the wall. I miss the kitchen. Hell, I miss it all. I'm letting go, but it is killing me. 'Cause most of all, I miss you loving me. This letting go is slowly killing me. 'Cause most of all, I miss you loving me. This is the coolest thing. If you're a songwriter, you dream about having an audience like this. You really do. This is the coolest. Yeah, isn't it? And like the gas money would be nice, but all other things.
Treated far worse than that.
No kidding. No kidding. No kidding. No, this is the kind of gig that you look forward to for the whole year. It really is. We've had this on the books since last summer. Excellent.
You and Ken Gaines will be back in December.
In December for the annual Christmas extravaganza.
The only people that have, the only person that's ever done a Christmas show except Greg and Ken together is Bug Sanderson. So,
Those some big Nikes to fill there.
yeah, well, I tell you what, you do it well.
Well, thanks.
The next artist to be here is Marina, and right after that is George Inslee. So that's
Yeah.
this song.
So the segue there is that George and I wrote this song together about an actual event that happened in 1914. Y'all remember this?
Top of the chart.
World War I, back, the trench warfare back then was really like up close and personal. And I mean, they were really like 200 yards away from each other in these trenches that they'd dug, and then they were in there and they were firing at each other. And they didn't know why. And it turned out in Belgium on Christmas Eve, I think it was the German soldiers or was it German or Russian? German. And they started singing Christmas carols. And the Brits and the Americans that were in the opposite trenches heard these Christmas carols, and they started like singing along, and then they just like it just sort of became an unofficial truce. And then on Christmas Day, actually they climbed out and they met each other, and they met these human beings that they'd been firing at, a few hundred yards away, and realized that these were just guys like them, and it really screwed up the general's plan. It was not at all what the higher ups had in mind, but the soldiers in the trenches had their own agenda, and it was sort of like one of those really cool moments in history where humanity and the things that should matter sort of mattered, if only for a little while they mattered. Anyway, this is called the Christmas Truce of 1914, and boy, I hope I remember these words, because there's a lot of them and I don't do this song very often. The Belgian night was filled with stars, not fire from our guns, when we heard their Christmas carols from their trenches being sung. The words we did not understand, but the melodies were clear. They were the same ones we had learned back in our childhood years. Soon we joined in with them and sang in harmony with the boys a day ago we'd killed as enemies. But when we sang together of our blessed Savior's birth, there for a time for all mankind we knew peace on earth. Now it's 3 on a match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear. Tommy and Fritz, boys, are sharing Christmas cheer. Let the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. At Christmas dawn, they left their trenches, shovels in their hands, to bury their dead brothers in a frozen no man's land. One by one we dropped our guns, climbed out to do the same, and put our boys in frozen soil with cross without names. The dreaded Huns were boys like us, looking like old men, whose fragile lives fought to survive like candles in the wind. Shell-shocked from the rounds of artillery we threw, snuffed out by snipers' bullets, diphtheria and flu. But when we shook their hands, suddenly there was no war. We played a game of soccer and we heard the birds once more. Shared cigarettes and stories of our loved ones left behind, and how we prayed each day we get to see them one more time. Now it's 3 on a match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear, 'cause Tommy and Fritz, boys, are sharing Christmas cheer. Let the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. They had to move us down the line, 'cause we refused to fire on the boys that we had sung with in our ragtag Christmas choir. But we remembered on that day what he was sent here for, and we prayed that this would be the war to end all wars. Now it's 3 the match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear, 'cause Tommy and Fritz, boys, will share in Christmas cheer. Let the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, tonight we're gonna sing. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. Thank you. George Inslee, man, I got to tell you that I'm sort of George's lead guitar player on gigs when he can afford me in Austin, and so I end up doing 3 or 4 gigs a month with him down in the Austin Hill Country area, and he is as good a songwriter as there is. He's a storyteller kind of songwriter. He's like a Guy Clark type songwriter, but he's a Merle Travis kind of finger picker. He's a really good guitar player. And yeah, he's a real nice guy, a real, sweet, soft-spoken. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of good things about George. So if you're wondering whether you should come to that show, wonder no more. You really should come and see him. Unfortunately, it's not one of the shows where he can afford me, so I won't be here playing with him. But I have to play you this. This is a Dennis Todd song. I loved Dennis's music. I love Dennis. The night that Dennis died back in May, Kim called me, and Robin and I turned on YouTube on their TV in our living room and punched in Dennis's name, and this song came up, and we listened to it, and it was like, it knocked me over. And then the next morning was Sunday morning, and I had to get up and go to Llano, Texas, of all places, and play this cowboy church. I went into the music room and grabbed my guitar case, and it wasn't latched, and when I grabbed it, it opened up, and I had sheets, lyric sheets and stuff stashed in my guitar case, and the lyrics to this song of Dennis's fell out of my guitar case, and I went, oh, man, okay. I'll learn it, okay? And they were like in his handwriting, and I've got them in my guitar case. I know they're in there, but sorry, Big D. Things were so different then. Life was a simpler place. Sleeping with the windows up, warm breeze upon our face. Family stayed together then, through thick and thin. For better or for worse, we prayed forgiveness for our sins. We had secrets that we kept. Now they stream them on the internet. How did we get from there to here? You gotta get yourself ready for the days of reckoning. They're drawing near. wished upon a shooting star and waited for it to come true. We believed in angels and how they kept us safe. And I remember Christmas Eve. I remember Christmas Eve. We wouldn't dare to sneak a peek. No, Mom and Dad were sound asleep. Gone are the days of innocence. Do you ever wonder where they went? How did we get from there to here? Better get yourself ready for the days of reckoning. They're drawing near. There's still time to change the world. We can turn this whole thing around. Just stand up for what's right before the fire rains down. Things were so different then. Mother Goose and fairy tales. Now we find ourselves standing at the gates of hell. How did we get from there to here? Better get yourself ready for the days of reckoning. They're drawing near. He said, yes, I am coming soon. Your day of reckoning is here. This is one of my prized possessions. This is the thing I'd grab if my house caught on fire.
What about Robin?
Robin would be grabbing the cats. Okay. All right. I'll do this for both you guys. This is a song that I wrote.
It's a short song.
It is rather short. It clocks in under 3 minutes. It's about being lazy. That's the whole crux of the biscuit. It's just a song about being lazy. And it has one verse, which I think is appropriate for a song about being lazy. When you're writing a song about being lazy and you get to the second verse and that legal pad's staring at you, you just kind of go, fuck it. Let's do some guitar shit, you know? Repeat the chorus. So here we go. I stopped to smell the flowers, 7 wasted hours. I have not done a thing all day, but I won't let that bother me. I won't be losing any sleep, 'cause somebody's doing something somewhere. Well, maybe I should take a nap or read a magazine, or sit here flipping channels, or grab a bite to eat. This lifestyle's sure seductive, but I don't feel unproductive, 'cause somebody's doing something somewhere. should do the wash or at least go to the gym. Yeah, I probably ought to mow the lawn, but this hammock that I'm in is awfully damn seductive, and I don't feel unproductive, 'cause somebody's doing something somewhere. Somebody's doing something somewhere. Somebody's doing something somewhere. Thank you. Thank you very much. This song is it's a big hit in Seguin. Put it that way. Oh yeah. My baby understands if I go drinking, or if I need a little time alone, and if I want to watch a ball game, she will let me. But I have to make it up when I get home. Those luxuries, they soon come back to haunt me. For every hour I spend on me, I owe her 10. She gets me pulling weeds or doing laundry. In this game of give and take, she always wins. She's charging me interest on her loving. She compounds it daily. I can't seem to get caught up. She's charging me interest on affairs as if I'd had 'em, and I'm losing interest in her love. Now I know that she trusts me to be faithful. Lord knows I've never strayed, and that's a fact. If I go out on the town, well, I swear she writes it down, 'cause she always remembers, and I have to pay her back. She's charging me interest on her loving. She compounds it daily. I can't seem to get caught up. She's charging me interest like she gave that rib to Adam, and I'm losing interest in her love. She's charging me interest on her loving. She compounds it daily. I can't seem to get caught up. She's charging me interest like a doggone Visa Platinum, and I'm losing interest in her love. Yeah, I'm losing interest in her love. Every now and then you got to write a B-side. Oh, well. This sort of request hour, I guess. I'm safekeeping. Oh, okay. This Yeah, I was talking to Janie about this. My grandmother on my dad's side, her name was Money, and it wasn't spelled like, the kind you can spin. When we were kids, we used to go to San Antonio to visit her, and she had sort of outlived everybody, and she was by herself. I never met my grandfather. He died before I was born. I was the youngest of 3 kids, and so by the time I was a little kid going to visit my grandmother, she was just this little bitty old lady that she'd pull out this photo album, and we'd sit and look at all these people that had died. And I didn't really get it when I was a kid, but I get it now because it was her way of sort of like keeping all of them alive. And so when she died, I wrote this song for her. I got to start writing songs for people while they're still living. That would be much, much nicer. It's called Safekeeping. Older than time, weathered and lined from the years upon years, tears upon tears, she's outlasted them all. Even her children, all married and gone. So she's holding on to her memories tonight. She's holding them tight. They're her reason for living. She keeps them alive on the hope that someday she can give them away for safekeeping, and then she'll be free to move on. A neighbor's hello brings a flicker of hope, but they seldom stay long. They wave and move on, and her grandchildren call, but don't listen at all. They have lives of their own. So she's left alone with her memories tonight. She's holding them tight. They're her reason for living. She keeps them alive on the hope that someday she can give them away for safekeeping, and then she'll be free to move on. She passes them on to the few who will listen, and hopes they remember them well when she's gone. And sometimes she longs for the race to be over, and sometimes she hasn't the strength to go on. She woke up today and making her way to the kitchen for tea. She swore she could see in the light down the hall the faces of all she had loved and survived, and the whole of her life played before her as though those memories of old that she labored to save took on life of their own. And she gave up the fight and walked into the light of safekeeping. She's finally found her way home. in the land of safekeeping. She's finally found her way home. Thank you very much. I think I need to end this thing, but I want to end it with something fun. So I mentioned earlier that there were 26 songs, one for each alphabet letter, and I used X as an example of what a difficult letter is. Really, when you think about it, there's just not that many good words that begin with X. And when they do, it doesn't even sound like an X. And how confusing is that? Imagine being 5 years old. You got to not only grasp the concept that, okay, here's a symbol. You've seen this symbol before, pirate maps and stuff, but it makes a sound, and the sound it makes is not just a sound. It's like two of the other letters. It's like K and S put together. Why do you need it? You already got K and S. Do K and S. If you need KS, it's a no-brainer, especially if you're writing phonetically. They're going to put KS anyway. They're not going to put an X. But then once you teach them the X sound, they put X when it's supposed to be KS. They do. At the end of sock. Even Comiskey did it. White socks. How cheap was that guy? Hey, I can save some money. If I take the CKS, just put an X there. Anyway. So from a kindergarten teacher's point of view, teaching the letter X is kind of a conundrum. And so here's the song that describes just how awkward that particular letter is, and yet how necessary. And before I do it, I want to thank you all for listening with both ears. You just made me feel really good by giving me your attention. Randy, Helen, best place in the world to be. It really is. Okay, now I got to remember what? Okay. Near the end of the alphabet, just before Y, there's a letter that's made by crossing two lines. And this letter called X can sound like KS if it comes at the end of a word such as flex, or right in the middle like in saxophone, or Texas, or taxes, or New Mexico. I hear it in sex, and I hear it in box. I hear it in checks, and I hear it in fox. It comes at the end of old number 6. It makes the last sound in ox, max, or mix. But there on the alphabet up on the wall, the picture that goes with the X you recall is always the same wherever you go. X is always for xylophone. Sing with me. X is always for xylophone. X is always for xylophone. It's always the same wherever you go. X is always for xylophone. Now who thought this up? Well, it sounds like a Z at the front of a word, and there just could not be all that many good words with an X at the start. Try to think of a few, it can be pretty hard. There aren't many, in fact. Ask around and you'll see why X is always for xylophone. Here we go. X is always for xylophone. X is always for xylophone. It's always the same wherever you go. X is always for xylophone. As for me, I like X when it's not the first letter. It's so easy to read, and it sounds so much better when it comes somewhere other than right at the start. But I've been around and I know in my heart that your teacher will probably point at the wall and say X is always for xylophone. X is always for xylophone. X is always for xylophone. It's always the same wherever you go. X is always for xylophone. X is always for xylophone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for singing. I've never ended a show with that. This is a first.